Dating back to the colonial period, in Rwanda there's been strong racial tension between the two groups, the Hutus and Tutsis. In April of 1994, violence erupted in Rwanda following the murder of the Hutu president, Habyarimana. For the next 3 months, Hutu extremist militias and the Hutu army killed about 800,000 Tutsis and Hutu moderates. 800,000 in 100 days. That's an astonishing 8,000 people killed per day. It wasn't until July of 1994 when the Tutsi rebel group, the RPF, captured the capital of Kigali and ended the genocide. After the genocide, the Rwandan government faced the enormous task of prosecuting 120,000 killers.
Rwandan prisons were grossly overcrowded with horrific living conditions. In response, the government turned to the Gacaca Court system, the traditional community-engaging justice system in Rwanda. With the Gacaca system, individual villages convened once a week for the trials. Ordinary villagers provided testimony, and a panel of locally elected judges made rulings. The Gacaca system was effective because it produced verdicts faster than Western-style courts. Another advantage of Gacaca is the combined punishment of killers and reconciliation. Survivors attended the trials so they could gain closure as they learned who had killed their friends and family. Perpetrators could confess their crimes and ask for forgiveness in front of the whole community, hoping for reconciliation. Because of its speed and promotion of reconciliation, the Gacaca system was the best solution to Rwanda's problem of prosecuting 150,000 detainees. The only alternatives to Gacaca were the international and domestic courts, both Western-style legal systems. The ICTR has only issued 60 judgments and spent $1.7 billion on the trials. Unlike the Gacaca trials, citizens did not play a part in bringing justice to the deaths of their neighbors and family members. Rwandan citizens didn't know what was happening in the international courts, and some Rwandans didn't even know they existed.
The Rwandan national courts were also ineffective. They churned out 1,000 verdicts a year, a tiny amount considering Rwanda's 120,000 suspects. If the trials continued at that rate, it would take more than 100 years to clear Rwanda's prisons. The Gacaca courts, on the other hand, produced over 80,000 verdicts. There were 10,000 Gacaca courts versus just 13 national courts, allowing Gacaca to produce verdicts at an incredible pace. Some argue that the Gacaca courts were ineffective because of their lack of standard law procedure or well-trained judges. Others claim that people could lie to protect their family or benefit themselves economically.
In the words of President Kagame,
Gacaca, granted, had its imperfections. It received criticism both from within and outside Rwanda. Yet those criticizing offered no viable alternatives that could deliver the results we needed.
While Western legal systems focused solely on punishing the killers, Gacaca emphasized reconciliation. The Gacaca trials were an efficient way for Rwandans to address the atrocities of the past and move forward with their lives. Gacaca may not have been perfect, but it was the only way for Rwandans to move forward as a united country and to end the cycle of violence. Hopefully through the power of reconciliation and justice in the Gacaca courts, violence of this sort will never happen again.